That's where I really shine. So once we get to the NBA season, specifically NBA, I've got some hard hitters. I'm being from New York, I'm a big Knicks fan. I grew up. I had a lot of pain all throughout my life, living through the John Starks and Patrick Ewing era, and I think they're finally shaping up in a nice way. So like whatever their season total numbers are, I like it over. I think they're gonna win more games than whatever the hell they're expected to.
Get on Slack. Season total, it's actually out 41.5 for the Knicks. So basically, they're saying they're a 500 team.
Yeah, I mean, I love them.
Bonus five star on the over.
Bonus 5-star play. It's unfortunate we're not gonna be able to circle back to this for a while to see how they do. But yeah, I think they're gonna crush this 41.5. I've never been more confident about this in my life.
Hey, welcome back to Fade the Mahoney, everybody. It's been about a week since we were on with Derek GMZ. All of you who entered the contest, I've decided to give you all 1% of his winnings from last week's tournament. So congratulations, everybody.
That's very generous of you.
Yeah.
Was 0?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So I think we're giving away like total of 50% then, even though we only owed 10. But anyway, guys, we've got formerly famous YouTube superstar CzechRaiseCharles joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about the state of live poker. Charles had mentioned something on our Slack group yesterday that I thought it would be interesting to talk about. So we're going to be there in a minute. But before we get there, first off, I'm sure you watched the previously on. So we all are on the same page that Charles is a genius when it comes to NBA. So
I actually didn't even know how poorly it was going, so I had to search their stats for the season. And yeah, I think I remember when you told me the line was 41.5. I obviously did not like it, but I was like, let's just lean into this. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna crush that, and it does not look very good for the Knicks.
Well, my math says as long as they go 17-3 down the stretch, you're good. That's all you need.
Oh, yeah, very Mahoney.
Yeah.
Good thing LeBron doesn't play for the Knicks.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to, Charles has a 4-pack of NBA games he's going to pick for us. Edonk's going to do a college game as well. Big game tonight. Real quick, shout out to our mutual friend, Brad Owen. Brad, I appreciate the discussion we had yesterday. And please just keep in mind, I will find a place for you on the show at some point down the road. But when we have access to people like CzechRaiseCharles.
I mean, I appreciate that you make time for me. I understand many people you could have. So
just take a number, Brad. We'll get to you.
You've had some hard hitters on here: Daniel Negreanu, Maria Ho. I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah. So again, we'll find time for you, Brad. When I have people.
There's you. Trumps all of them. You're like the queen on the chessboard.
Mm-hmm. I want to give a quick shout out to some of our brothers in the sports gambling space. There's a podcast I listen to. It's called The Favorites. They did a segment today on chasing. Edonk, what do we tell the kids about chasing?
Always do it.
Yeah. They took the opposite approach, which I thought was weird, but to each his own. You got to chase. If you want to get even, you got to chase.
Got to press.
Yep. We already mentioned Derek GMZ. Appreciate him coming on. He had his in-depth NBA system. He went 1-1 last week, which is pretty darn good. Edonk obviously went 0-1. He went on the Nets and they got killed. We talked about your need for 17-3 to win that bet. So that's probably a loser. And
if you don't cut the bullshit, this is never going to be 15 minutes.
All right. My bad. Quick shout out to one of our favorite Mahonies, Lucas on quite the tear. I'm guessing he's like at a 33% clip. You think, Edonk, with his picks? Think he's that good?
The guy's an absolute fucking legend. He gives out losers every single day. And I fire on him, and he's made me a lot of money. Thanks, B-Funk.
Yeah. Shout out Lucas. Hopefully, Fade the Mahoney meet and greet at the local poker room on Sunday. So I'll get to say hi to you in person. All right. Charles, let's talk about live poker.
Yeah, so I think what I was discussing the other day was I was finding that I've just kind of lost a bit of the passion. I mean, I've been playing, I think, like 18 years now or something since I picked up in college shortly after the Moneymaker win. And a lot of the people that I knew back from then, like once I moved to Vegas, I think I moved to Vegas in 2007. You know, most people are out of poker almost always. And friends who still play. I met Brad, I think, in like 2010. So obviously he still plays. But I think if it wasn't for YouTube for him, I'd of the game as well. You know, YouTube, I think, transformed the game for him. So for a lot of people, they need to kind of find something else to be passionate about. And for me, I was just like, okay, I've always enjoyed the game. And that has probably changed over the last 6 months. A bit of that's probably because I've gotten into like interested in a couple of other things like NFTs and cryptocurrency. So that's like gone well for me and it's been more exciting. But also I think it's just a function of like how my games are here. I can only play at like one specific casino and the games just aren't me. You know, talking to Edonk about like their games over in Chicago, I think if I could play with you guys, I'd be enjoying myself much more. I think you guys have like a great environment where people are friendly. We had a similar thing maybe a couple of years ago pre-COVID where it was a lot of the same guys having a lot of fun and a lot of it has changed. People aren't really talking to the table as much. Obviously the masks kind of.
Oh, we lost you, Charles. Can you hear me, Donk?
One of the most important things for life.
Charles, you just left us for about 10 seconds. So I'm just going to pop in and say, if you're not playing for a living and it's not fun, you're just probably not going to do it, right? I mean,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. So, you know, I think it's very important to create like a fun atmosphere, whether that's just kind of having some drinks. I think Edonk's shown that they regularly will have some beverages, also creating a fun atmosphere through bomb pots, straddles. The one nice thing about the game where I play at is they've been doing a winner kill. So the winner of the previous pot is the straddle. It could be from any position except the button. So if the button wins the hand, then it goes to the big blind. But I think stuff like that is what's really important to make sure that like the game is playing a little bit bigger, more blinds, more money in the pot, and that people are more involved. Also, I think you guys have at your card room a policy where you can't be on your phone. Is that right?
Yeah, there's no phone, no electronics at the table. It's a pain in the ass when you're trying to like communicate with people and you know, at the table you got to stand up, you got to stand, like they make it such a big deal. You can't even like just stand up. You got to stand up and go behind your chair.
I imagine though that means that the games are really good though, because like people can't really be messing around on their phone the whole time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can't have headphones. You can't, you know, sit there and, you know, say nothing and just listen to headphones or watch a movie or, you know, any of that stuff you probably see in other places. So, I mean, it's definitely positive. I think there can be a middle ground where, you know, for a while that it was, you know, you could have your phone sort of in your lap when you didn't have a hand. You know, and I don't know. I don't really make the rules, so just.
Well, what I would say is I don't play nearly as much as Edonk, but when I do, if I'm playing with the Edonk, the game is almost always fun. And if the game is not fun, the game's going to suck. So
you
just got to do everything you can. When I'm at the table with Edonk or generally in that room, your point about the phone is well taken, because if you're not interacting, you stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
We'll usually have, of the 9 people, 7 or 8 will be engaged and having
talking.
And if no one's on their phone, it just can't happen.
And I think the problem also is once a majority of the people are doing it. So for example, I'm sure I'm guilty of it as well because everyone else is doing it. So it's hard to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to try to engage with a bunch of people that aren't really talking. You know, if they're on their phone, I'm like, okay, well, what else am I going to do? Okay, I'll be on the phone as well. So it kind of like begets this environment that people aren't really having fun in. So the last couple times I've played, it's just not been that enjoyable. Yesterday, I switched tables to a game that was better and people were interacting. Some people I knew, so it's fun to engage, and I think that's like what poker's all about, right? So you need to ensure that people are having fun, because if they're not having fun, then who wants to go and gamble? And I found that a lot.
Yeah, our casino is a little bit of a smaller casino. It's more of a bunch of just locals. So, when you do get a couple of these people from, whether it's out of town or, they're just randomly show up, I've tried to make those people feel a little bit more comfortable than others, because a lot of times, I've gone to a couple casinos like for example, like Rivers in Pittsburgh. It's more of a smaller market, so a lot of those guys know each other. So I've felt awkward at times, like when you go there and you don't know anyone and you just tell dumb fucking jokes and nobody laughs. So then just like it's like fuck my life, right? So then you try to go, these people who come in, you just try to, I don't know, just sort of interact with, find out what they do, find out, what they're in town for. Like, for example, some guy was in town from Oregon. I guess he moved here, his wife got a new job. So it's just like, just talking about games from, back home, and, how long he's planning on living here, and, just bullshit, right? Yeah. Like nothing really of substance, but it's like, hey, like if you at least help someone feel a little bit comfortable, right, they're gonna open up and they're gonna sort of do what everyone else does, right? And then too, it's really hard. Like, for example, like there's like maybe 3-4 of us that are always here in the morning, with another probably 20 that rotate pretty significantly. But the core group of people understand the culture, right? They understand, hey, we're gonna straddle, we're gonna do a bomb pot every dealer change. And a lot of the times, like if you're gonna come in and not do those things, it's to the point now where, like, I used to be the one speaking up, but it's to the point now where like the other people just speak up, on everyone's behalf. Right. And so I think that's sort of the culture that was built over time. But it's hard to be the only person vouching for that, right? And you gotta have a couple other people vouching for the same thing in order for it to really take place on a consistent basis. But
agreed.
And generally being friendly, if someone doesn't want to straddle, being friendly, and if that doesn't work, friendly asking them, well, wouldn't you mind switching to another game?
I think it's important to understand, like, if everybody wants to do something, you're the odd man out. It's like, well, you're kind of ruining it for everybody else, right? It is a social game, and especially if you're new to the table and everyone's like, oh, hey, we're doing this thing, are you okay with that? If you're not, then there's a chance you should probably just go play somewhere else or pick a different game, which is unfair if they're used to, like, let's say they're like, oh, I'm playing 2-5, you guys are playing 2-5-10, like that's bigger than I want. It's like that's fine. I understand that, like, it's not really fair to you because that's what you were playing or expecting to play. But at the same time, you can't just pick yourself over the other 8 people who are like, no, well, we'd rather play 2-5-10, so.
Yeah, and usually that works. And then if that doesn't work, it's sort of like you just give like helpful hints, like, hey, this is the most fun you can have with your clothes on in the casino, right? When you strap, right? Like, that type of shit. And then, I've gotten pretty good at like guilting someone into straddle.
Yeah.
And then
there's just different levels. You start off super friendly, a little less friendly, get into the passive aggressiveness, get into the mean, and then just get into the cussing them out until they leave. That's the last resort. We have some good success stories I can think of. Primarily the leader of the cartel.
He used to be a non-straddler, like super grinder knit, like nothing, no fucking straddle, fuck you, right? Like no give an inch
for years.
And then we turned him, And now he's like blind 20ing. He's like, all right, let's go. Blind 20. Let's go. It's fucking great. It's like the most epic thing you could imagine. Like if you would have told me 5 years ago that he would have been the one instigating the straddle in the blind 20s, they'd be like, you're fucking out of your mind.
Yeah. It's nice when you see that growth where like someone finally gets it. Like, oh, hey, actually, like this is better. Like you don't want to play 2-5 where they're taking whatever $6-7 a hand and playing small pots. Like the more blinds, the better. The more action, the better.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, like, I don't think I would never go to Bellagio and play 2-5 anymore. Like it would just be, I'd rather just take the $500, either literally light it on fire or just I don't know, blow it on a steak or something.
I actually have a funny Bellagio 2-5 lighting on fire story. I think it was, oh wow, your camera just did a thing where it like panned all out. That was crazy.
Fucking, it's like I'm in a movie. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's probably some feature you have turned on.
Let's hear the story.
So I was playing 2-5 at Bellagio somewhere probably between 7 to 10 years ago. I don't remember how long ago, but a long time ago. I'm fairly sure it's 2-5. Maybe it was 5-10. I can't remember if it was 2-5 or 5-10. But some guy was basically like, "Yeah, I got money to burn. Like I don't care. Like I just like this is the $500 is nothing to me." And I'm like, okay, sure, man. You always hear like everyone who wants to be a boss at the table. And so this guy's like, "No, like I'll light it on fire." And I'm like, "Yeah, I believe you." And he's like, "No, like come with me right now." So I literally walked outside the poker room, me and some other guy at the table. He walked up to the trash can that had like the little like ashtray holder for cigarettes, took out $500 bills and lit them on fire. And I watched them burn outside the poker room. He walks off. He walked off like as soon as it started burning. And so I'm looking at it. I'm like, am I supposed to like try to put this out and give it to a homeless person? But like that kind of is the antithesis of what this guy is trying to prove. So I just watched $500 literally just burn outside of the poker room. So he proved his point.
That wasn't my point. Like I have all the money, endless money. Because that's not true. My point was more so. My point was more so. It's not. It would not be fun. It would just be fucking torture.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, people who tell me that's another thing about the state of life poker. Who they're like, "Oh, I want to play poker for a living. I'm gonna move to Las Vegas and chase the dream." I'm like, you're out of your mind. There's for sure a plethora of games to choose from. So if you're happy to go to 4 poker rooms in a night to try to find the best game, and I knew a kid that was like that. He would literally go to one room, games weren't good, go to another. He would go to 3 to 4 places in one single night, and you have to do that because if you're not, like the games there are just substantially worse when compared to some smaller markets like in Texas or Florida, or obviously like you guys have in Chicago. There's just significantly better games. You don't need to move to Las Vegas to become a professional poker player.
Yeah, don't fucking come to Chicago and find it out. The weather's terrible. It smells. The games are actually not that good.
Bears fans are the dumbest creatures on the planet.
Yeah. This is not a promo to fucking get some dirty grinder.
The world wants to know, Enoch, with the new poker room opening, has Rivers offered you anything to pack up shop and move the show over there?
Like to organize some games over there? We're gonna try.
I mean, is that closer for you? Where is that for you? Is that closer, further?
It's quite a bit further for me.
No, I don't know. I Googled it. It's like 30 minutes to get to here, and it's like 47 minutes to get to the other place. So call it 20 minutes. So 40 minutes extra a day. I mean, yeah, it adds up. Sure.
Yeah, I guess if the games are better, but it sounds like you have a good thing going where you're at. So
I don't know a single poker dealer that they've hired yet.
Well, I do know they offered one of the floors here a job. She was going to take a pay cut to go there. She put in her notice here, and then they gave her a raise here to keep her.
Was that Michelle?
Michelle. Yes.
Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah. Yeah. I was happy for her. So work the system, right? In any way you can.
Mm-hmm. All right. We got any other poker related issues we should cover? We're already going long and we've got a few bets we got to give out to the people. Anything else you want to cover? Just make the game.
Yeah, make the game fun. Otherwise, people don't want to play. Like I've just noticed myself 5-10 years ago when I was playing at this specific casino, there was a lot of fun players and they're all gone. And I don't know if it's an economic thing or if it's the fact that they themselves weren't enjoying themselves. And now those people are going to home games because in home games they're having fun. So if you want to drive your fun players to home games, then, keep making the game boring and not straddling and not paying attention and not talking to anybody.
Maybe suggest to whoever runs your room, Charles, that people can't use their phone at the table. Maybe you're worried about cheating or something.
I think it's going to be hard to go backwards. But I mean, it would be not only that, like if you think about it, it's probably the worst thing for poker room because people are more apt to stay forever if they're allowed to be on their phone because now they can like do all their business. They can waste time. It's easier to be at a table forever if you're kind of distracted. And that's exactly what the casino wants. They want their like whatever, $5 a hand, $7 a hand in perpetuity. So.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you from our point of view, it is actually good for your health. You know how your Apple Watch always tells you need to stand up. So if you want to use your phone at the G there, you have to stand up and move behind. All right. Good talk. I hope people enjoyed that. But let's do what. Oh my.
Oh man.
And he's gone just like that. Let's do some picks. Charles.
C-Tran's a pro. He just acts like an idiot.
Smart.
It's great. It's really smart. He's the smartest idiot I know.
Charles, you're an expert on NBA betting, right? You've proven that in the past.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at fades on Mahoney, I'm the guy.
All right, we're going to do 4 games. 2 of them are the big TV games today. People like to bet on what they can watch. So the first game on TNT is Grizzlies at the Celtics. Wow, something must have happened in the last couple hours. Celtics are now favored by 2.5. What do you like in that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Grizzlies. I don't understand what's going on here. I think the Grizzlies are the better team. There's probably something I'm missing as I have not been kept abreast of what's going on with the Grizzlies, but I'm going Grizzlies.
Okay, how many stars?
Three stars.
Oh, 3. Okay.
3 stars. I'm not that confident on this one.
All right. The other television game is the All LA Classic, the Lakers against the Clippers. Clippers favored by 2.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Clippers here. They're well, obviously they're both at home because they're playing in LA, but yeah, the Lakers are washed.
Don't say anything about LeBron. Don't do it. You'll get chided by certain people. All right. How many stars on the Clippers?
I something tells me he watch this regularly, but so you mean the Clippers? Yes. I'm gonna go 4 stars on this one.
4 stars on the Clippers. All right. 2 other pretty good games. The Heat are at the Nets. And again, Edon, correct me if I'm wrong. James Harden's still not coming back with the Nets tonight, right?
I don't think he's going to be suiting up for the Nets anytime soon.
Okay. All right. Miami is favored by 2.5 at the Nets.
Miami's hot. So we're going to Miami with this one. 5 stars.
Edon, are you taking care of this right now?
5 stars.
Yeah. So I've made the mistake. I've made the mistake in the past to just listen. Now I'm actually going to use this stuff to my benefit. For Christ's sake.
I mean, I've actually asked Mike that whether you guys actively bet. I mean, at this point, your guesses have been so bad, actually, but I think you need to lean in, like keep going.
No, there's a reason. There's a reason the casinos are so beautiful in Vegas. The morons just keep lining up.
It's true.
God, I hope we got all my internet just took a dump, so I hope we got all that. I'm sorry, everybody, if it messed up. But here's what I can tell you. I've been doing this a while. Don't bet on Miami tonight. All right, last one for Charles. Warriors at the Mavs. This is a good game.
Don't bet on Miami.
Don't bet on Miami. Did you see the?
No, It's a trap game for sure.
Trap game.
Trap. And I love it even more.
Wait. So, but I mean, now are you guys the Mahonies in this story? If you're now feeling that I'm the Mahoney, I don't know. It's tough to figure out.
No, your power is
No,
strong.
man.
It came through. It came through very, very clear. That this is like a 75% wager here. Of course, it can lose. Anything can lose, but that's like 75%. I'm confident Edonk will have multiple hundreds of dollars on the Nets tonight. I'm confident.
Yeah, someone's gonna get stung really fucking good tonight.
All right.
Charles.
That you started this. Can you hear me?
Nah.
Charles, trade some
Yes.
of your bored apes in for good internet.
Yeah. All right. We got a couple minutes left. Let's power through the. It's my internet. It's Charles' internet.
Is he there? I don't even know if he's there. Charles.
I'm here.
Holy
Yes.
fuck.
Okay, you're back. Warrior and Mavs. Mavs are favored by 1.5. What do you got for this one?
You said the Mavs are favorite?
Yep, 1.5.
So the Warriors lost their last meetup against the Mavs like maybe a week ago. So I don't think that's gonna happen twice. We're going 5 stars, Warriors.
Okay. Okay, so we
back.
got 2 5 stars. We've got the Heat and the Warriors at 5 stars. We got a 4-star on the Clipper. We got a 3-star on the Grizzlies. Awesome. We're gonna finish it up. One last game. We're gonna let the Edonk. He loves Michigan. He loves Jawan Howard. He loves what he stands for and how he coaches. They're favored by 1.5 at home against Iowa tonight. What do you got, Edonk?
Wow. Everything 1.5.
It's up to 2.5. Sorry, you lost out on the 1.5. Up to 2.5. It just moved.
I mean, all the college kids got to be betting Michigan tonight, right?
Yep, that's what it means. All right, how many stars on
All
Iowa?
the college kids.
How many stars on Iowa?
3.5.
3.5.
I wonder if DR fires, if Dr. Burbs fires on Michigan tonight, we might drop a bomb on Iowa.
Okay.
I gotta get all the information first. I gotta find out what Lucas likes. Then we're gonna total that all up in the calculator, and then
Maybe you guys should have like a whole system where you just get like the 3 all-star Mahonies, get a weighted average for your each episode. I like it.
what do you mean we should have a system?
We have a system. We look at
We
people when
fucking
they
do have a system.
when they say things and how
We
they
invite you on.
Yeah. All right. We went way too long. I say that every episode. We've got some cool stuff planned in the future. Again, Brad Owen, chill out, buddy. We'll find room for you. But Charles, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
Hold on. So I put these in my phone, right? These are CRC locks. And yesterday was Lucas's locks. You want to hear Lucas's locks yesterday? He had the Bucks. He loved the Bucks.
They won.
Minus 4.5 or whatever it was.
Didn't cover.
They won by 1. It's
Mhm.
great. I won a lot of money on the Heat. He had Alabama. They got fucking throttled.
0-2.
Right? He had Iowa State. They got throttled.
That 0-3.
He had Davidson barely fucking covered. I think by like a hook. Maybe 1.
1-3.
So we faded that fucking Mahoney and went 3-1. It was great.
I hope to see him on Sunday.
I told everyone at the table, I said this is the most plus EV play you can do.
Just do the opposite of Lucas and you stung. Be fun. All right. We're closing in on a half hour. People have already turned off. Charles, thanks for coming by.
I hope you enjoyed my
I honestly feel like it's cheating when I fade Lucas.
You still put it through.
I'm cheating.
All right.
Cheating everyone.
Say goodbye to the people. Thank you, Charles.
Good talking to you guys.
Hey.
All right. Love your NFTs in the background, bud.
Shit.
It's good.
Good gambling, right? Good gambling.
Great gambling. Fade Lucas.